RoboCop. Coming. Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law.
Okay, guys, a little bit of an experimental stream here. So what I am trying to do is actually have a live stream where you guys can actually just call in. So it's a first of a kind. Don't know how successful it's going to be. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I'm a little bit confused, but let's try this nonetheless. So if you're out there and you've got Telegram on your phone or on your PC, then hook me up, give me a call, and yeah, you guys can join in. You guys can talk on this stream. You just need Telegram, and you just need to call. So add at Pixel Cherry Ninja, like you're seeing in the top left corner, and yeah, you'll be on air on this very stream. So I'm hoping to get someone. I know I haven't made an announcement or anything, so maybe I won't get anyone at all. But I wanted to try this out because I want you guys to be a little bit more involved. I want to get your stories. Really enjoy hearing like arcade stories. So if anyone is out there, drop me a line. Yo, Steve, wicked. No, it's not Pocket Mister. This is Retro Art Steve. If you've got Telegram on your phone, add at Pixel Cherry Ninja into your contacts and just call in and share a story about your experience in the arcade. So that goes that goes out to anyone else out there as well. If you've got any stories of the arcade era, jump in, call in. I'm trying this stuff out, and hopefully it's okay. By the way, Steve, what's if you're still there, what's the sound levels like as far as like the game sound and my sound over it? I am using a different headset than I normally use. I'm using like an all-in-one kind of a headset made for things like Skype or like Zoom. But all right, while no one's in here, I'm just gonna play myself a little bit of RoboCop because I want to serve the public trust, protect the innocent, and I want to uphold the law. I'm hoping my buttons are right on this. I've used RetroArch for this instead of Against My Mister because of the ease of use and the integration, and also obviously there's more arcade games on this currently. Should someone, oops, okay, I've got the buttons mapped. Okay, cool. So this is a classic arcade game. Still remember the first time I saw this. It was in a chip shop called Nino's Chip Shop in North London. I saw this. This is when a portion of chips was 38 pence. Right now it's kind of like £2.50 cheapest, maybe more some places. And yeah, RoboCop was like a big movie at the time. Everyone in school was talking about it. All the kids were watching it, and to get the game was fantastic. So guys, anyone out there? Okay, what's this? Oh, cool, wicked. Thank you, Steve. That's much appreciated. I was fidgeting about with it. It's more an issue when someone calls in and kind of getting their sound levels, because it's difficult for me to monitor that during a stream. I have to do that via visual cues on the mixer to see like how that goes. But yeah, guys, anyone tuning in up there, you can call in on this live stream. We want to hear your arcade stories. Any arcade stories you've got, then share them with us. Let us know. Remember, whatever game you kind of mention, if I've got it as part of my RetroArch set, I will run it. So Joseph, don't be shy. Give it a try. Give us a call, buddy. Give us a call. If you've got Telegram on your phone, if you haven't, just install it. It's like a WhatsApp kind of thing, but I find it a little bit more useful. You can just add Pixel Cherry Ninja and call in. Hopefully someone will call in. I think what I need to do really, what I should have done was done this with a bit more notice, but I had a little bit of time open up in the evening before I got to put the boys to bed. So I was like, okay, let's try this. This freeway is like the worst gun you can use on a 209. This gun's so much better. Who remembers this fight in the arcade? This was so epic.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Right, let's have a quick look at my Telegram. Yeah, no. Okay, let's go back. Kind of try and do some multitasking here. Hopefully someone will call in. Guys, if you want to call in, Telegram is the way. The username is @PixelCherryNinja, the same name as my YouTube channel. Just add me on there and or you know, just dial, or however it works. I can't remember. You probably need to add me as a contact. Add me on there and give it a call. So guys, if you're out there, don't be shy, give it a try. You're going to be live on air with myself, Pixel Cherry Ninja, and we're going to talk arcade games. It's just casual. I want to try something new, and I'm hoping someone calls out there. Don't all be shy, guys. Don't all be shy. I should have continued. I'm going to start again. Do you know what? You know what? If you're not going to call in, then why not suggest something in the comments regarding a game? We can play kind of anything. Let's have a look. Let's just close this down. And let's have a look at some games. Okay, I really do like RetroArch quite a lot. Okay, so I've got games over to arcades, but this is usually my go-to arcade thing. I use this a lot for videos. I think I've got like I've got the shaders kind of turned on by default. So guys, if you're just tuning in, you can actually call in. Look at the top left of the screen, Telegram @Pixel Cherry Ninja. Call in. I'm ready, I'm set up, and we can all have a chat regarding your time in the arcades, or you know, any cool arcade games that you saw. Let me try something as well here. So okay, that should, why is that not okay? I'm trying to disappear my taskbar, but it's not working. Well, at least it's not showing up on your screen. But yeah, for some reason it is not disappearing. Really don't know what to play. I kind of spoiled for choice on here. Okay, retro. Yeah, do you know what? I know. I just haven't updated it. I got that yesterday. Joseph, do you know what features are in there? What's new in there? Because sometimes the features are so minute, I don't always update them. But you know, I will update it. It's easy to do. I've got it installed as I just unzip it and then just literally copy the new thing in there, and bang, I'm done. But I tend not to update it on every release. Sometimes if I find something significant has come out, which is going to be good, then I definitely just update it then. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. So look, I really like this game, Alien Storm. Oh, okay, cool. Laserdisc. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with like the Laserdisc stuff, so I will update it at some point. Just not right now. So guys, anyone just tuning in, if you want to call in, if you want to be part of this live stream, just Telegram @Pixel Cherry Ninja. Call in. Don't be shy. Give it a try. Now, whenever I picked her by accident. My trigger finger just went too fast. I always pick the robot. I really like this game. I'm not the biggest fan of the shooting parts, but I really like the beat 'em up part of this. I feel like I've got the controls wrong on this. I've kind of set it to the fummy kind of controls. So guys, if you're just tuning in, does anyone want to call in? And I've got my friend who's going to call in, but he's out shopping at the moment. He's going to be in around 7. So if I'm still on air around then a friend of mine is going to just call in on Telegram. A shout out to Max Payne, man. We need you back, buddy. If you're watching, Max Payne, come back. Do you know one other thing about this game is the energy system? It's so sucked. Like, you know, you've got your fire, you run out of it, and you've got some like rubbish attacks then. But there's enough for there kind of seems to be enough. And also be wary of every human because they end up turning into monsters. So this is Alien Storm, a really good beat 'em up. This had a really good version on the Mega Drive as well. This is stuff like, you know, like Golden Axe. If you guys are familiar with Golden Axe, where you've got the run forward, jump and attack. This it's got the same attack, and it is the most powerful attack as far as I know in this game as well. Guys, if you're just tuning in, this is so far an unsuccessful live viewer call-in show. You know, one of you guys out there that's got Telegram, just call in, guys. Call in. You're going to have a blast. We'll have a conversation. I'll stop talking and I will let you talk, and you guys can just let me know about the arcade days, about, you know, your experience in the arcade. You went to the arcade, what did you see, what did you play, what characters did you meet, you know, did you, it doesn't even necessarily have to be an arcade, it could just be you may have gone to like a chip shop and had something there. I went to like one place I went to wasn't much for the arcade. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, no, I'll get that since 606. I really hope was to get something going. Maybe next time I'll do like a broader conversation. But when I look at like the YouTube statistics, like most of the viewers are like between 35 and 50, which usually puts people in that era of, you know, going arcades. Ah. Oh, okay. Can I pick another character? Hopefully. Oh, no, I can't. Okay. I was hoping to pick the robot again. All right, okay. Thin 606 here. Raheem Masters, man. He's such a cool guy, man. Like, some of the modding stuff he does, it's just like amazing. But he's a really, really good guy, man. Like, when I was a very, very small channel, he was yeah, my day's going good, man. But with Raheem, Raheem was just a really nice guy. He was very nice to me when I started on YouTube. Very helpful, and yeah, I consider him a good friend, man. He's a very good guy. I jump into his stream sometimes. I know he plays a lot of Call of Duty and Elden Ring on that. And I was watching his stuff when I was into like a lot of the handheld PC. So he'd actually put out some very, very useful videos in regard to like how these small Chinese Windows laptops perform. Right, really want to change my character, but it looks like I can't. If I press start. Yeah, and how's your day again, Sin606? Guys, remember, if you want to call in, you're welcome to do so. I'll probably be surprised and have a heart attack if someone calls in, because I guess I didn't give anyone notice. There were a few people that were interested in calling in. Not as many as I expected, but I do get it. Like, generally, if I was out and someone said call in, I'm quite a shy person. It may not seem it, but I am quite shy. I guess, you know, on my channel, I've been on here a while, so I'm kind of used to it. But generally, I'm shy, and I'm not sure if I would call in. But I'm not trying to put you guys off, you know. Give it a try. It's really not that difficult. If you've got Telegram on your phone or your PC, then just call in. Call in. If anyone's got any ideas for any games, let me know. Okay. Yeah, man, these codes, a lot of people get them. They just can't seem to shake them off, man. They come and they go. My kids, like, as soon as one kind of gets out of something, the other one gets something. So, yeah, just, yes, always going around, man. But everyone's kind of okay at the moment, I have to say. Slight cough, one of the kids, but that's about it. Do you know what? With a Discord, I don't have my own, like, Discord. And to be honest, I find it quite overwhelming. Let me just see. Okay, these ones usually have the bezels. Okay, I find it quite overwhelming, like Discord and everything. So I haven't got one, and I don't know if I was using someone else's Discord, what the implications of that is. I just thought Telegram would be easy. I wanted to try it because, well, Telegram's just on your phone, so you can just pick up your phone and kind of jump in, or put on your headset and jump in. So again, it was an experiment. Maybe Discord is a better way, or maybe just giving people like plenty of notice. I wanted to do it through WhatsApp, but WhatsApp doesn't let you call via the PC. Yo, Anthony, how you doing, man? Anthony, call in, bro. I know you're not going to. I know who you are, Anthony. Yeah, so WhatsApp wouldn't let me do it. So I've got a dedicated number. Like I've got a second phone that is just always on Do Not Disturb. And that number would only ever come on for like stuff to do with the channel. So I was quite comfortable giving that number out. But I checked WhatsApp and it doesn't let you make calls via the web browser. And I needed something to go via the web browser so I could get it running through OBS. Um, So this final fight here, still remember the first time I saw it, and this was in an Odeon cinema in like the lobby part. Like cinema lobbies were really really big, like very very big open spaces, and I saw this in there, and wow, like this was like this single-handedly just looked better than every beat 'em up I had seen up until that day. Um, Oh yeah, you know what? WhatsApp doesn't. Yeah, since 606, WhatsApp doesn't let you make calls via the PC. You can only message, so that wasn't an option. I did try that first because it is the more popular option. But I guess the good thing about Telegram is you don't need to share your number with anyone. You can do it via the username, so that was an advantage as well. But I've got a dedicated phone line that I only ever use for my social stuff. So I'm quite comfortable giving that number out because the number will only ever become active if I'm using it for something to do with the channel. Oh, wicked! Nice one, Unicron. Yeah, 15 minutes. Hopefully, I'll still be on. Hopefully, someone else will call. If not, my friend Unicron will call in. And Unicron, hopefully, I'll have the arcade games you mentioned on screen. I don't necessarily have to play them. I'm only playing them now because if if I'm just running demos and saying nothing or saying little, it's not going to be very very entertaining. So even a final fight has been like rinsed out. I'm not very good at it. You know what? I think he's better with a knife. I've got my shaders on. Like the shaders don't always come across okay, but these Sonken shaders, man. A shout out to Sonken. Like that guy is a legend. He's got so many shaders. I've actually got to check out his new shaders. He's made some RF shaders, which they look really really good. So you remember when you played stuff through your TV and it didn't have SCAR? Like so in the UK, whenever you bought a console, you generally got the preference was when it was sold, from what I remember, was always RF. Like the RF lead was always there on our 8-bits, on our SNESes, on our Mega Drives. You kind of had to. SCART was more of a specialist thing back then, I would say. So he's made shaders that make it look like you're playing on an RF, which would be really good, especially for something like the Amiga, which ran at 50 hertz. And from what I remember, you had like a big RF module popping out the back, so that was decent. The way I've got my buttons, man, it's not very good. It's not very good for pressing the two buttons together, but that's cool. I'll leave it at that. Sorry, I'm going to read some of the comments. Yeah, I have heard of Killer Instinct. Yeah, Killer Instinct is something I played on the SNES. Now, I tried playing like the new version. So you know the one on Xbox, and it's on Steam as well as like the Xbox store. I tried playing it, but I think I'm too old. I just couldn't. I didn't get it as far as like the combos and doing all the major stuff in there. I'm very much like a slow Street Fighter player. The fastest game I would have played, and I wouldn't even say it's that fast, is Capcom versus SNK 2. I can't do like the Marvel games. Like I'll play them for fun against the CPU, but I cannot play them competitively at all. I just don't get it. When they fall on the floor, you can hit them up again. Cool. Yeah, I am too old, man. I really liked Killer Instinct on the SNES though. Like Chief Thunder was my guy. Oh, we've got someone calling in. Let's do this. Cool. Hello, you are on air. How you doing?
How's it going?
Yeah, good. Yeah, wow. Okay, we have got a first caller. Let me go to the sound level and just kind of change things up a bit. Just going to put it a little bit lower so the volumes are okay. And how you doing, buddy? You all right? What's your name? Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, no. All good, man. It's Anthony.
Oh, Anthony. Hey, how you doing,
Yes,
Anthony? Okay,
yes.
guys, we have a caller. So, Anthony, what arcade game do you want to talk about? Because I will get that on screen now, provided it is in my Final Burn Alpha ROM set. So let's close Final Fight down, and yeah, let's have a look. I've got a Chrome page open in the background because you know what? Before we do that, let's have a look at this Chrome page. Let's show you something. Give me your thoughts on this, Anthony. It's Anthony, isn't it? Anthony, yes, Anthony.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
sorry,
yes, yes.
I've got rid of the wrong page. Have I? No, okay, no, I haven't. Okay, so here we go.
Mm.
Let me, right, let's get this page up. Let's get Let's get Chrome. Okay, cool. Right, what do you think of this? Right, so this is something on Twitter, guys. Going off topic a little bit here, but this I'm really, really hyped about. So there's these guys in the States, and they've got a Twitter handle out there called I Heart Pizza, and they're making a pizza shop, and within the pizza shop, they are like making Mega Drive games, and this is a game that they're making, which is a beat 'em up. Now, I've been following it, and they released some screenshots, and they look absolutely awesome. There's another one down here. Anthony, what are your thoughts on this game? Is this something you would play now? It is a Mega Drive game, and from what I
Oh,
remember of your last interaction, you are a Sega loyalist.
I am. I am. I tell you what, though, I can't actually view your screen. I'm watching this all on my phone, right?
Oh, okay.
making this
Oh,
call,
yeah. Okay.
making
Okay.
this
Cool.
call has actually taken me
Okay.
away from
Are
the
you
stream.
okay? So,
But I know the game. I know the game you're talking about. I
all
saw
right.
some
You know what?
screenshots
Let's
of it.
go. I'm
I
gonna
haven't
go.
watched the video,
That's not a video. It's
but
just
yeah,
it's just
no, I
stills.
think
It's
it looks pretty
stills.
cool. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's
So
go
I
back
haven't.
into
Yeah, so there's
retro
no
arts.
video.
Let's go because you can't see that.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
not much
No, I
point.
can't see the screen. I can't
What
see the
game?
screen. I
What
can't see
game?
your thing. I'm
What
just hearing your
game?
voice at the moment.
What
But
game?
I know the game you're talking about. I've seen the screenshots. I've seen the
Cool.
character select screen. I think it
What
is,
do you think
and
about
it's
it?
looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good.
Okay.
It's looking
Now,
good. Yeah, yeah.
just to make it, because you've called in to share an arcade story. What arcade game do you want to talk about? Let's just get that on screen, get the demo running, and then I'll give you the mic, and you just talk about your arcade game. It can be a funny
Memories and
story.
stuff.
Anthony,
I haven't got any story. I ain't
no,
got
no,
anything.
no.
All I'm gonna say to you is Turtles. Teenage Mutant
Okay,
Hero
let's get
Turtles is
some.
known in the
Let's
UK.
get teenage. Let's
Get
get
that
some
running.
teenage up on the screen. Hopefully that's enough of a search string. Okay, so let's get the four. Let's get this one because I think this one will give me the bezels as well. One thing I've learned is if my RetroArch shows like a flyer or a flyer for it, it usually has the bezels, and I'm completely wrong because I've got a Street Fighter bezel here. Never mind. This will be one of the chip shop arcades with the wrong bezel. So if it doesn't have a bezel, it always defaults to this. Okay, here we have the Turtles. Fire away, Anthony. Let us know about your Turtles experience.
Turtles. I mean, at the time when that game came out back, oh my gosh, it was end of the 80s, wasn't it? End of the 80s.
It
Was
was
it
it was
89?
89 from what I remember.
Yeah, wow, is all I have to say. I mean, that game. I remember seeing it in the arcade. I don't remember anything like being like that in the arcade, being like that. I mean, it looked like the cartoon at the time. At the time, like everyone at that age, I would have been a massive Turtles fan, and just seeing that 4 players, wow.
So who was your favorite turtle when you did actually play it?
Raphael. Raphael was my favorite turtle. That was my favorite turtle. I wasn't so good with him in game. I didn't, because I felt his weapon was a bit short. But I'm sure someone who's actually good at a game will be able to kind of go through the little nuances and turn around and say that Raphael was the best.
Raphael was very
prefer-
decent. He had a very good
Yeah.
special attack. So his 2-button special attack, I liked it a lot. But his one he went into that little circle and went forward. But yeah, his weapon was the shortest.
But, for me, it was more the aesthetics of the game. I mean, it looked like the cartoon, and I was hot on the cartoon at the time. It was just, it was amazing. It had the music at the start. It
Yeah.
had the 4 players. I remember kind of just sitting there, and everyone just. Everyone's, we're just bashing buttons. No one knows how to, it's just bashing buttons. It's like, you're playing and it's just, they just, from, at least from what I know, there wasn't anything like that at the time. It was,
No, there wasn't. Now I remember.
I remember
No, I remember on the 4-player arcade machine, like if I remember correctly, Donatello was the 3rd player, and whenever you played this, the race was always on for Donatello. People always liked Donatello, and I think that was because his weapon had the longest reach. Whether he was the best or not, I don't know.
It was my mentality at the time, for sure, definitely, in terms of, get a decent sized weapon, and you do better. But as we know, the hit detection in that game.
Oh, the hit detection is terrible.
So
It's terrible.
Although I did not long ago go online and watch some guy 1cc it.
Okay, wow.
It just shows
Okay.
that.
And just to clarify,
how
that
bad
wasn't
the game
one of my videos.
definitely wasn't one of yours.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What
No,
else was there? I mean,
but
like, no, Turtles was big. Like, I still remember at the time. I mean, obviously we were kids and silly, but I was actually me and a friend were contemplating actually going down the sewers, down a manhole, to see if we could find the turtles, because we did like pizza. And we were all right about getting trained by a rat. I'm really glad we didn't go down there. We may not have made it up.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely
Sorry, just
not,
going to reply.
definitely
Sin 606 is asking one credit in the chat. That 1cc is usually a term for one coin clear. So there are some guys out there very, very skilled, and they can complete arcade games with just one credit. I think the only game I've ever completed with one credit, I guess, is some of the Street Fighter games. Apart from that, there is probably nothing I've completed with one credit. Possibly Mortal Kombat, the original one, although I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, those. So when you know, if anyone gets any, a chance to kind of look at that stuff, if they haven't, yeah, I've seen that you had a Final Fight on earlier. I watched a guy do the same thing with that, and just the tactics and the strategies that they come up with to do that. Because remember, these arcade games, they are there just to take your money.
They are. They
so
are.
It's like they're incredibly difficult, and then you just see how people work around that. It's absolutely, honestly, the skill.
Do you know what? With arcade games, I found that the beginning, like the first level. So the first level is usually okay. So whenever we played games in the arcades, we kind of got past the first level and beat the boss. But you never ever continued, because if you continued, you went in to the hard part and you were out within 30 seconds. Whereas if you started again, you got to go through the whole thing again. So I found the difficulty always ramped up in most games on the second level. Like it went from, easy straight to like extremely hard in a lot of games. But like you said, these guys, they kind of work out the mechanics. They know how to almost like glitch the computer and exploit the CPU and get through the game. I like watching the 1cc's. They're really, really good, some of them.
But before I go, I mean, that's kind of Turtles I want to talk about. But yeah, no, absolutely love that game. And I think the new one that they've come out with is excellent as well. But yeah, no, I just wanted to give a shout out to Turtles.
Oh, so, nice. Okay, no, let's go. Oh, actually, you said before you go, I was actually going to ask you, what do you think of the new Turtles game?
The Turtles game was
I like it. I like it. I know a lot of people don't agree with this, but I prefer it to Streets of Rage, Streets of Rage 4. Now I know a lot of people prefer that.
Since you're mentioning Streets of Rage, you're going to keep me on a little bit longer now.
Okay. Let's get. Okay, go on.
That Turtles came out. Brilliant game. And then it was shortly after I got my I got Streets of Rage, and that was the game that really Streets of Rage 1 that would have been.
Okay.
And that after that it was like, right, that is because I was Turtles crazy after seeing it in the arcade.
Okay.
There was no fighting game ever, nothing that was going to beat that. Streets of Rage came along, and for me personally, that topped it. But this is a conversation for another day.
No, you know what?
We're moving on to consoles.
Okay,
I don't want to kind of do that. I'll leave it at that.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Streets of Rage, Streets of Rage 2 for me is like the pinnacle of fighting games of that era, because it was made for console. It wasn't there to guzzle your money. You could do it well. And the thing is, there's so many good mods and hacks out for it. It's amazing. Like I like playing like the Street Fighter ones. It's good. It's good. Well, Sin's enjoying the conversation, so you can talk about it more. There you go. We have got Sin. Thank you for the permission. Anthony, go ahead. Go ahead. Streets of Rage. Did you ever play the Mega Drive Streets of Rage arcade machine? Did they ever have that? You know the ones where you had like the NESs, the SNESs.
The Mega Play stuff, wasn't it?
I never saw it. I never saw it in the arcade. I remember seeing like the NES ones and some. I never saw a Mega Drive one, but I'm sure there would have been at some point.
Yeah. I know that there was a Mega Play. I don't know exactly how it works, but I've seen videos on YouTube of that. But I've got to say, I've not actually seen what that type of machine would have looked like. I mean, that'd be quite interesting.
We've got Sin in the comments saying, I heard there was an arcade cab for Streets of Rage. There may have been, but it would have been a Mega Drive one, like what you're saying.
It would have been. I think it was part of the Mega Play. There was a Mega Play collection. They had a few games. I think Sonic was on there as well.
Okay. Do you think it was called like the Mega Cab? You have to say
Graphically,
like
it looks just like
the Mega Cab.
graphically, obviously, it looked just like the Mega Drive one. The thing is, when you see this stuff, you kind of look. I mean, I remember even as a kid, kind of playing Streets of Rage 1, thinking, "Wow, this game is so good on the Mega Drive. I wonder what it would be if there was an actual arcade release." You know, like
Okay,
how we
okay,
had,
yes, because the
you know how we had
arcade
Golden
releases
Axe?
were always superior to the console releases.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it in stuff like Golden Axe, Altered Beast. Don't get me wrong, the Mega Drive version did a fantastic home port, absolutely. But when you play the arcade version, just the colors look better. The game looks a little bit smoother. So it would have been nice if Sega had done an actual arcade, board version of that game. But yeah, as you said, Streets of Rage 2. I mean, they ramped it all up. Everything that was good about Streets of Rage 1, they just made it better in 2. Characters were
Yeah, no,
bigger.
I still like it. I think it holds
Music
up really
was
well.
excellent.
And
It does.
recently there was I don't know if you saw it, but they actually brought in the sprites from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and they put that into Streets of Rage 2. And
Yeah.
man, it's
Yeah, I've
really,
seen it, I've
really
seen it.
good.
They've done a good job with that, haven't they?
They done a really good job with that. But what the issue with Sin, it's actually on the channel if you check it out, Sin. They've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge in Streets of Rage. Now, one thing I don't know about you. One thing I played it, I loved it, but I really felt it missed the back attack. Obviously, they replaced that with the attack from Shredder's Revenge, which is the vertical attack.
Yeah, and that's the reason I didn't go through it myself. I mean, I played it, I started it, but it was immediate. It was immediate for me, and I think the reason it feels that way, because remember, it is a ROM hack, and and they've done a fantastic job there with it. But it is Turtles in the Streets of Rage universe.
It is, but they've changed a lot of the enemies. They've done that. They actually released an update to the hack where someone actually changed the music to Turtles music from kind of Streets of Rage music. But the thing is, the Turtles music that they used, I don't think it was that good. It wasn't like the one from Shredder's Revenge or the original arcade game. I just didn't like it that much. I actually preferred playing it with the Streets of Rage music, so I never bothered patching it and getting that again.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely good. I mean, the guys that do this stuff, I mean, the skill that they've got to do that is amazing. I saw recently, even in Streets of Rage 4, which is absolutely fantastic game. I think I came across something. Might have been last week. Where again, you've got some guys who have gone back, and they've added skate into the game. By,
there's a lot in there. I put the ones where they put in Ken and Akuma, and I actually done a video on the channel of that. Now, I really liked how they looked. I liked how they played. The thing that I didn't like was when they actually walk up and down, the sprite goes really, really thin. It looks off, and enough to kind of make me not want to play it. This is Streets of Rage 4, yeah. So there's actually an app out. I can't remember what it's called. It's called like Streets of Rage mod, or there's a particular app out, and if you've got like the Steam version, it lets you kind of move assets around. It's got a GUI, a really nice GUI, very, very easy to use. And they've got the same thing for Sonic Mania, but Sonic Mania I've got for the Epic Store because they gave it away for free. I haven't got it on Steam, but I don't think it works well with the Epic Store, so I need the Steam version. But Streets of Rage I've got that on Steam.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff, man. But look, I'm gonna get going.
Wicked. Well, look, thank you for dropping by. Congratulations. You are the first live caller on this live stream. And I'm hoping this becomes popular. And I'm going to try and do it with more notice. And hopefully we can get some more people calling in. So, Anthony, thank you so much for calling in. You are the first.
Brilliant. You take care, everyone.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
Nice one, Anthony. Take care. Bye. Okay, guys, that was Anthony. Anthony, thank you so much for calling in. Let's put on another game because I get battered in Altered Beast. So, guys, if someone wants to call in, lines are free. Telegram, if you've got Telegram installed, and just add the username at Pixel Cherry Ninja, and give me a call. I'm here. I try and be friendly, so we're good. We're just a bunch of nerds talking. That's all it is, guys. Talk about arcade games, and we can go off topic. We're all good. The only thing that I ask is that we keep it clean. There's no political stuff in here. It is literally we're talking about gaming, and we're not you know, effing and blinding because my kids do watch my channel, and I try and make it family friendly because, you know, I listened to Guile all those years ago when he said to me, go home and be a family man. I listened. Okay, any suggestions for any games? So I've got the RetroArch Final Burn Neo set because that one's really easy to work when I'm actually. Oh, Asterix. Okay, shall we put a bit of Asterix? Let's do Asterix for now. This one's really easy to work while I'm actually filming. Okay, so that hasn't got the bezel showing up here. That's annoying. No, Sin, no worries. Thank you, Sin. You know what? Get Telegram on your phone. Call in, buddy. You're doing a lot of comments. It will save you repetitive strain injury. Okay, there's something bad there, so let's close that. Maybe you know what? Let's go. Let's go. Rastan. Actually, no. You know what? I want to play. I want to play. I know a game I'm going to play. Let's play. Where are you, Shadow Dancer? I absolutely love this game, and hopefully I've got the buttons okay because I don't want to go through button config. So guys, lines are open. Yeah, no worries, Sin. See you shortly, bud. Lines are open, guys. If you want to call in. You will get through. It's Telegram and it's at Pixel Cherry Ninja. Drop me a line, give me a call, and we can talk arcade games. Remember, we're okay to go off topic as long as we're talking about games. I just recently got a ROM hack for Parodius, and I think it's the 4th Parodius game. Now, I tried running it. I'm a bit lazy. I've got like an Android device, and sometimes I do my filming on that because it's just very easy to do. I can do it while in bed or while at work. I tried running it on that, and it's just not playing well. So I'm going to put that on the Analog Pocket and the Mister. But it's really good. I didn't realize, like, it's got like, I don't know, like a dozen different characters you can pick. You can even pick like a paper aeroplane. Like, the thing just looks fantastic. So yeah, man, like really good. But yeah, let's play some Shadow Dancer. Like, I absolutely love this game. So guys, if you're just dropping in a live stream where you can call in, just hit up at Pixel Cherry Ninja on Telegram. At Pixel Cherry Ninja, the same as my YouTube username without any spaces, and we are good. We are good. Right, let me try to put the volume up a little bit because I cannot hear this at all. So let's just go. Oh, here we go. That's better. I really like this game, and again, I remember where I was when I first saw this. This I saw in Rowan's, which is a bowling alley in North London. We used to go there a lot. It had a lot of arcade games, had bowling, air hockey, like snooker. The main thing we went in there was for the arcade machines, and I saw this in there. This was upstairs in a room. I remember it being cold. I was thinking, did it have ice skating? But it didn't have ice skating. It must have been the ice hockey tables. So it was always, I don't know, it just felt kind of cold. It may not have been cold, but it always felt cold. But this is a really good game. I can't finish this. You actually need skill to finish this. So guys, if you're just dropping in, call in. The lines are open. I sound like the radio station when I'm on my way to work and I listen to LBC, which is a CAC station, but I do listen to it sometimes. So yeah, they're saying like call in, you will get through, especially when I'm listening to it early in the morning on my way to work. If I've got a really early start and I'm in the car at like 6 o'clock, oh, he's going to turn my dog into, I don't know, let me know in the comments, do you think he turns your dog into a cat, or does he turn your dog, is it just like a little dog? Okay, let's see if I can time that. Nope. Yeah, got ya. Okay, so once I get like another power up, my dog will rise again. Okay. Ah, okay, cool. It's banged me in the head. Usually when you get a collision in this, you just kind of bounce off and you use that. So if you're unfamiliar with this game, guys, this is Shadow Dancer, and honestly, this is a great arcade game. One of my favorite arcade games. I've never been able to complete this. I haven't sat down and persevered. But it's one of those games where when you die, you kind of start at the beginning of the level. I can't remember if there's checkpoints. I always kind of remember starting at the beginning of the level. And so you need skill to kind of get through. Really hope we one day get See, one thing over here, I wanted to duck down and shoot that guy, but when you crouch down and press fire, your dog goes to attack, like the closest enemy. Okay, so now I can send him after him, which is fine. But yeah, if your dog goes through one of those guys that actually dashes the shield, he just whacks the dog out. Your dog can't do anything to him, like this guy here. So if I was to crouch down and do it, he would go for the guy. Okay, I really like the first boss in this as well, man. Guys, if you're just tuning in, feel free to call in. If you have Telegram on your phone or any of your devices, just call. The username is at Pixel Cherry Ninja. You will get through because no one is currently calling in. We had Anthony Alexander calling in. So Anthony, thank you for that very much. You were the first caller, and I'm hoping to do this more regularly, and I'll do it with a bit of notice so those that want to call in know and they're kind of prepped up for it. Okay, I actually done the boss fight all right, not bad. Oh, now these bonus stages are tough. Do you guys remember the bonus stages in Shinobi? So I don't know what it is. I've only ever done this like once or twice, and honestly, it's never because I know what I'm doing. It's just because I've somehow squeezed it and done it. See, like, how do I get past that? I don't know. Oh, okay. We have a caller. Unicron. Hey, Unicron. How you doing, buddy? Welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja Show. What arcade game do you want to talk about? And introduce yourself.
First of all, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Strength 5, bud.
Okay, cool. I haven't been watching, so what have you played or talked about already?
Okay, so we've only had one caller so far. You're the second caller. So the first caller was Anthony, and he spoke about Turtles, and then it kind of went on to Streets of Rage on the Mega Drive. But you can talk about any arcade game. I'll try and bring it on screen if you're watching it as well, or just so it goes with a theme. So name a game, and I'll try and get it on screen. Hopefully it'll be in my ROM set.
Okay, I'm assuming you must have spoken about some sort of Shinobi game.
Oh, you know what? I was just playing Shadow Dancer, but we can put Shinobi on. Shinobi's.
No, Shadow Dancer's fine. I can talk about
Whatever game you want. Like, so what we want is if you've got an interesting story about the arcade, if you've got a funny story, funny people, funny events, anything that happened in the arcade era, we can go off topic, but it has to be about gaming, nothing political, and got to keep the language clean because my kids watch this channel sometimes.
Okay, fine. I don't know if I've got a funny. Okay, then I'll tell you how.
What game? Because I'll get that on while you're
okay,
starting.
Since you've done Shadow Dancer, I'll tie into that as well, but more so Shinobi because that's how it started.
Okay, so let's go Shinobi because we've had Shadow Dancer on screen. So
yeah, okay, that's fine. But I'll still talk about.
Yeah, you can go straight into that. That's cool. Literally, I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
It's just going to be visual candy or eye candy.
Okay, cool. All right then. Yeah.
Or if you've got your volume up on your device, you're going to get an echo. So just mute your YouTube.
Yeah, I just muted it. Yeah.
Oh, cool, wicked. Because I heard myself and I sound nasty.
Yeah, no, I'm muted just to make sure.
Cool.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, I just turned it off the phone. Yeah. So Shinobi, I was introduced. I believe it came at 87. I got into it in 88.
Okay, it is 87 because I can see that on screen now. Well, we've got the game running.
Okay, yeah.
So well done.
For me, yeah, it was 88. Around about January. So at the start of the year, we had because I'm a bit older than you.
Okay.
Our school, my secondary school, had 3. Just give me 1 second. Can you hear that noise in the background?
I can do it. It sounds like your kids or something, but that's all. It's not majorly distracting or anything.
No, literally just give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries, man. Don't hit them, yeah?
No. Just a couple chairs like Streets of Rage. Just a couple chairs.
Cool. Wicked. No specials.
No. Give me 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
No worries.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Due to technical difficulties, it is quiet for a few seconds, but Unicron is going to come straight back. But in the meantime, I hope you guys are enjoying Shinobi. And guys, if you want to call in, just wait after Unicron. And if you say in chat you want to call, then I'll make sure that I'll try and find the cutoff point. So try and call in. Don't be shy. Unicron, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers. Yeah. So I was in secondary school. At the time we had 3 years, and after that, people normally went off to like a sixth form. and college, but it was so old they used to call it a polytechnic back in the days.
Okay.
So yeah, so to make our school bigger, they moved us to a different school while they made the school bigger so you could stay for the 5 years.
Right, got ya.
Yeah, because it was like, I think I was like the second or third year ever to do GCSEs. And so after that, after you leave school, you know what you did? You just went home, you walked home with your friends, and you passed by chip shops, kebab shops, video rental stores, and they all had arcade machines.
They all did.
Yes,
I used to spend my bus money that I used to get on arcade machines, and my mum always told me off for coming home late because the walk from school was about 2 miles.
Yeah, see, that's what we did, and you had to choose because you only had a certain amount of money. You had to choose which shops you went into. So you either played Chase HQ, RoboCop, and then there was this game, a ninja game. And I was like, and it was Shinobi, and I was just like, okay, everyone loved ninjas. That's what it was. You loved ninjas back in the 80s.
I still love ninjas, man, and cherries and pixels.
Yeah, you joker. So then, so I played it. I didn't get off the first level, and I was like, "This." I was thinking, "My God, this game's hard." I was like, "Wow!" And then a couple weeks later, there was a guy in my class called Matthew, and I was watching him play. I had the chip roll, as you do, because it was cheap. Than
it was cheap,
and you got the roll as well.
Definitely,
it was like 40p.
Carb overload. Yeah, it was around that price as well. I had 45 in mine, so they were skanking me in my area.
Yeah, see, I was just 40p, and I had to make sure I got the onion vinegar on there as well.
Definitely.
So I was watching him, and my guy was one hitting enemies. You know, like I was jamming that ninja star button, and he was just like, "No,
you got a sword. You got a sword. Some of them, yeah."
Yeah, and I was just like, I said to him, "How are you this good?" Because I'd only seen the game 2 weeks before maximum, and he was playing it like he had it for 6 months, and there was another guy there that went to a different school that they were good. He was good friends with Matthew, and you could do 2-player, but obviously not at the same time. Once one died, it said second player take over.
Yeah, I didn't see much point in that, to be honest. But that was the way in quite a lot of games where
and that's what it was. And they just went, and I saw most of the game that one day, and I was like, my word, these people are just. And that was the first time I actually visually saw someone who was good at a game, because we could be good at Double Dragon and stuff like that. But when a game like Gradius or something like that took skill, and they were just destroying bosses, and I was like, I can't even get off the first level. So
were you like, Sifu, teach me the ways of the shinobi?
I wish, but in those days, people throw a portion of chips at you and stuff. No one was teaching you anything. It was just, they just would murder you and call you rubbish. They were just like, Get good. That was the first get good, but they didn't call it get good. It
wasn't spelled GUD.
Nah,
it was spelled the proper way.
Yeah. So I just like, wow. So you had to spend money to get good on those games. And obviously those games would try and cheat you out of every credit known to man. So yeah, but these guys were just, I don't know, from that school and that era, because there was a few schools around there in East London, and kids were just great at games. So you had to be good because you want that money to last you as long as possible.
Of course, yeah. And you never continued. You always started from the beginning because you died when you continued.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time we just saved enough for one credit, like 20p a credit or 10p a credit. And at that time it was the new 20p. So it was like, wow, credits are now double. It used to be 10p.
I remember when it was 10p, but then it quickly went over to 20. By the time RoboCop, Shinobi and all that come out, they were 20p. I never remember playing Shinobi for 20p. Pac-Man was like 10p.
Yeah, the last game I remember at 10 pence was Double Dragon 1. That was 10 pence.
That was big. That was big in its day, man. But the back elbow just overpowered everything else in that game.
You know what it was? With Double Dragon, shop owners, chip shop owners, kebab owners saw the money coming in. And I think at that time, they must have realized that they could make the games harder or price it higher. So Double Dragon went from 10p to 20p. Yeah. You had to find the ones that were 10p.
I only ever remember playing it for 20p. And you know what? There's a story with Double Dragon. My mum sent me out to get potatoes, and I had some money left over. So I would used to try and skim whatever money I could. And in the arcade machine, I meant to put in 20p, but I put in a 50p and a 10p. So I put in 60p. I got 3 credits, so someone else would have got credit for 10p. I thought, well, I'm going to get battered now anyway. I might as well take 3 credits on Double Dragon. I turned up without potatoes. And I don't think I got physically beaten that day, but I did get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, see, that's just the way it was. We would do anything to play these games. And and to show off while you're doing it as well. And I wasn't very good at Shinobi, but I loved the game. The game that I got good on was Shadow Dancer because
Is that the arcade version or the Mega Drive one? And sorry, just to say this, Steve O'Hulk, one of the regulars on the channel, saying he experienced all these games on the Mega Drive. Nice one, Steve. We are reading the comments and we'll try and get them in during the conversation. So sorry, going back to your Shadow Dancer, was it the Mega Drive one or the arcade one? Because I played it a lot in the arcade. That's my favorite version. But I know the Mega Drive version's really good and it definitely feels a lot more fairer than the arcade version.
See, I played the arcade version first. That's what I knew.
Okay.
And then when it came to the Mega Drive, obviously the Mega Drive was like a remix.
It was. You had to hold the fire button down to get the dog, and I think that's actually better because the arcade version of Shadow Dancer, sometimes I want to go down and fire a ninja star, and the dog just goes for an enemy that he can't actually grab onto and turns into. By the way, is it a little cat or is it a little dog? Because I don't know what your dog turns into or your wolf turns into once he gets hit.
No, it's a wolf, and once he gets hit, it's a puppy.
It's a puppy. Okay, so it's not a cat. Are
No,
you
no,
certain on that? Yeah, because there was arguments in the arcade about that, like friendships were lost.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a wolf to a puppy.
You know what?
Yeah.
I will take it to that. Like, you are now the governing voice on this. If I meet up any old crew and they're like, it's a cat, I'm like, no, it's a puppy. It's been established. Cool. All right, anyway,
it's a puppy.
Go on, sorry.
But the power-ups, even then in Shadow Dancer, they don't make sense because in the arcade, I believe you disarm bombs because it's terrorism.
Yep.
And on the Mega Drive, it's the children of your clan, oddly enough, that give you the power-ups.
They never heard of birth control.
No. Neo Z, he just kidnapped all the children of the clan.
Yeah.
There's all these blonde kids, and they kidnapped them, and you get the power-up from the blonde girls. As soon as you rescue the girl, you get your power-up on the Mega Drive.
Some would actually say that hooking up with a blonde girl now will power you up.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay. I need to edit that out later. I don't want my kids to see that.
Yeah. Yes. I thought you said there's a line there. There's a line.
No. But I kept it clean. I kept it clean.
Okay. Yeah. We just say if they ask, we just say no. We're talking about Red Bull. We're talking about Red Bull.
Oh,
It
definitely.
gives you wings. Yeah.
Definitely. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So the arcade version of Shadow Dancer, I love that, and then the home version, the Mega Drive version, I got really good at that. But as good as I am, because I can beat that without losing a life, my brother was even better than me. He always used to put it on the hardest difficulty level on the Mega Drive, so you didn't get any power-ups.
Okay.
And he used to turn off ninja
I think
stars.
you don't get power-ups on the hardest difficulty then.
On the Mega Drive, no. No.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It's level 1 is very easy. Level 2, you get power-ups, but it's more enemies. Level 3, there's no power-ups. And he used to turn off ninja stars. So you only had ninja stars on the boss. So throughout the stages, it was swords and flying kicks.
I prefer, wherever I can, I like that the close attack, the feeling you get, the satisfaction you get when attacking with a close range attack in Shinobi or Shadow Dancer, especially Shadow Dancer actually, is just so much more fulfilling than when you just hit them with a ninja star.
Yeah, but on that hardest level, certain levels are just so cheap.
No, I want the ninja stars.
Yeah, you need it because I can do it, but my method is with ninja stars, especially in the last rooms when you get the grey ninjas before the final boss.
Okay,
but
is that the same thing where you just keep whacking your stars on them so they can't attack you until you get close enough to actually slice them with your sword?
Some of them can block it and run forward. Some of them jump over it. But unfortunately, on the final level, there are so many ninjas, and you don't have magic because you might have already used it, but you need to save it for the boss. But my brother, he was just like, no, doesn't matter. Swords and flying kicks. And I used to watch him on the Mega Drive and think to myself, you've gone too far now. So after that, I tried to get my mum to ban him. I was like, no, it's embarrassing. It's just, you shouldn't be able to do that. But he was one of those guys, everything had to be on the hardest level. Everything, Thunder Force 3, Shinobi 3. It was because of him I realized in Shinobi 3, if you got a power up, you could block ninja stars and machine gun bullets just by holding down the attack button.
Oh, I didn't know
it was
that.
him. Yeah, because he never used to play with swords. Shinobi 3, you could do the cheat to have the shurikens.
You had the infinite shurikens,
Yeah, he wouldn't even bother with that. He'd be just like, no, I'm not playing with shurikens. I've got a sword and a flying kick. And he would go through the game, hardest level, Shinobi 3. But he was one of those guys. And I used to watch him, and then I was like, you can block ninja stars and machine gun bullets? And he was like, yeah. I was like, Michael, just hold down the attack button. And oddly enough, it's the same with the first Shinobi game on the Mega Drive, which I believe is called Revenge of Shinobi.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
That was
As
a
long as you got
good game,
power up.
man. I think that was out for the 3DS as well. It looks really nice in 3D. If you've got 3DS handy, some of the Sega games that they released, like Streets of Rage 2, Outrun, Space Harrier, and Revenge of Shinobi, they look really, really good in 3D.
Yeah, those were done by M2, I believe,
I
and
think,
those
to
guys
be
are
honest,
masters.
all
They're
all the
masters of
good
those
ports were
games.
done by M2, including actually on the Switch. I don't know if it's out for other consoles, but on the Switch, the M2 version of Shinobi is really good. They've actually put this thing in it where you're always one hit and die. You've got like a white costume instead, and
Yeah,
then
you can take an extra
yeah,
hit,
you can
and there's
take
a
an
red
extra hit.
costume as well, apparently in that version as
Okay.
well.
I mean, I've got it. I've only just dabbled with it a bit. I haven't like gone through it and played it because I still prefer the arcade version. But that one's a really,
Okay.
really good version to play.
Yeah, I mean, I would personally say it's probably the best because you've got the standard arcade mode, then you've got their remix
You
mode.
have,
And I
yeah,
think the remix mode's quite nice. I
No,
mean,
I get that. I get that. You know what it is? It's just with the arcade, especially having it on like the Mister and everything, it just feels really, really nice playing it on there. But I get why people would go for the M2 one. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I play some modern re-releases of stuff.
yeah, and also I suppose if you've killed a game or you've done it to death, and someone gives you like a slight remix of it, you
Mm,
think to yourself, yeah, I'll dabble in that because it's not too far away from the original. Plus, if they give you the original as well,
yeah.
it's worth messing around with, and it's just like, oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, for me, that era was Ninjas and Sega done it really well. Even it doesn't look the greatest, but
With
if you've ever
Shinobi,
played,
I liked how it looked, man. I thought it looked at the time. There was like a game shop that someone set up, and they had Shinobi in there, and I thought it looked really, really good for its time because
oh yeah, no, it does. But I was gonna say GG Shinobi on the Game Gear, GG Shinobi 1 and 2.
I've never tried that.
They are some of the most underrated Shinobi games you've ever gonna play. I personally, just for me personally, I know it's sacrilege, but I think it's better than Shinobi 3 and Revenge of Shinobi on the Mega Drive. I think the
Okay,
Game Gear ones are
I'll have to
better.
check them out. I haven't had too much experience with the Game Gear. I had one back in the day. The batteries just died so quick. So like everyone else, I ended up just sticking with the Game Boy. But I will check it out. I've got like the full set. I've got the full set on the Analog Pocket, so I can play it on a handheld. Got it on the Mist. Actually, we've got a lot of choices to play those games. Um,
Yeah.
okay, definitely check those out.
Yeah, you will find that they are some of the premium because a lot of the ideas that came to the Mega Drive versions were from the Game Gear versions,
Okay.
and then when they called it GG Shinobi, I suppose that stands for Game Gear
Yeah,
Shinobi
no,
2
definitely.
came out. I think that was like the premiere because it just had everything in there, and it was for a handheld game. It was so unfortunately, I think it was held back by the actual hardware because of the battery issue. But
Okay.
game-wise, it's one of the best 8-bit games you will ever play.
Well,
Both of those,
do you,
they're
do you know
that's good.
one thing that I really, really liked was whenever I look at Game Gear games, they're not like just the Master System game. They're completely like they have their own identity. They
Yeah.
are their own games, and like even like Streets of Rage on the Game Gear, like it's a completely different game, and it actually plays very, very decently.
Yes, yeah, my brother, because my brother, he had a Game Gear when we was growing up. So I had the Mega Drive was the family and mine, and he had a Game Gear. So we used
Okay.
to get a lot of Game Gear games. So we played Sonic 1, 2, and there was another Sonic. It had
Hmm.
Tails in it, I believe, but it wasn't called Sonic 3. I can't remember what it was called. But we played the Game Gear Shinobi games on there, even ports of Mortal Kombat we played on there. And that's how my brother got good because he was playing on this system. So when he went to the 16-bit system, it was like, oh, I'm unshackled. I can release all my power now. It was just like
Nice.
he went to Super Saiyan 2 and he was just great at games. But he got it all from the Sega Master System. Like for me, if I say Master System stroke Game Gear, if you ever played
Hmm.
Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion on the Master System, I reckon it complements the Mega Drive version. They're two different games, but
Okay.
some
See, I
parts
played
of
the
the
Mega Drive
Master
version. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, really
yeah, the Mega
good.
Drive version is a classic, but I would say to people, don't sleep on the Master System version. In its own right, it's just as good.
Hmm.
It's just, it doesn't try to be the Mega Drive version. It's its own thing. There are
Yeah,
similarities,
but
but
there
it's
was a
really
lot of
good.
that for the Master System. The games were
Yes.
completely different, and it almost looked like they worked within their limitation
Yeah.
rather than try and push it, and it's going to end up being something crap. It was just
Yeah.
okay. This is what we can do. Because I actually didn't mind Shinobi on the Master System as well. I thought that was actually okay. It wasn't the best version, but it played decently.
Yeah, it did. It was very good for what they could produce, and it was a nice home, I would say, port, not conversion, but port, because you had a
Mm.
live bar, so they knew, okay, Shinobi was primarily meant to take your money, but if we've already got your £15 or £20, whatever the Master System version cost at the time, we want to make sure that you have fun
Mm.
with it. And for me, I think that's where the difference was in the UK anyway between the Master System and the NES. The NES was like, you paid your money, you may never see the ending of this game because it's so hard.
Yeah, some
A
of the
lot
games
of their
were
games.
tough on that, man. I completed a
Yeah,
few games on the NES, but they were tough.
yeah.
But you know,
It was.
sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say it's almost like the Europe was a second fault for Nintendo because a lot of their games are made harder because in America you could rent the games
Okay.
and they didn't want people finishing the games in a weekend from Blockbusters and
Okay,
what have you.
okay.
But we didn't have that type of thing over here. You couldn't really rent games.
Yeah, I
Most
think
people,
Blockbuster done a few, but it was expensive. It was like £5 or something for a
yeah,
weekend. It wasn't. It didn't make
exactly.
sense.
So you might as well have bought the games. But for the Master System games, it wasn't like that. So they knew that you'd buy it. Whereas the NES games, because in America NES was huge,
It
they used
was,
to make
yeah.
sure
They
that
actually
people
gave
went
away
and
the
bought
console for
games.
free, didn't they, for a certain amount of time without any
Yeah,
games? So they kind of got it in every many households like that.
yeah.
No,
But
that's decent.
Sega treated us well over here, so that's
You know,
why I
I
think.
really liked the game, just the Ninja on the Master System. Like it was on a card, it wasn't on a cartridge when I had it, and
I
that
don't know
was
if I've seen that.
it's a shoot 'em up. Let me bring it up on screen. I should have it on here. Let's go. Okay, we were getting arcade, but we're all good getting off topic. Let's see. So let's see, Master System. Yeah, it was really really good. Is it in here? Okay, so let's make sure I'm on the right because I've got multiple screens up. Sometimes I end up pressing a button, it has a different effect somewhere else. Okay, here we go. The Ninja. We've got it. We've got it. So have you got access to your screen? Can you see it? Can you see it, Unicron?
I'm running already. No, isn't it a blue screen you got at the moment?
No.
Oh, here
I've
we
got.
go.
Yeah, I've got. Oh, yeah. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay. I forget. I can't remember if it's
Oh,
5 or
okay,
10
yeah,
seconds, but
yeah. I
I
can see the
really,
the
really
roll
like this
screen
game. Let
there.
me bring in a little bit of sound up as well, just a tiny bit. Here we go. Okay. So this was just a shooter, but I really, really like this. I think what I'm going to do as well next time, I'm going to make it the arcade one. It's just going to be gaming talk. Okay, I have not got my joypad configured for the Master System, so all I can do is fire. I can't actually walk. Okay,
Oh,
that
fine.
kind of... Let me... Do you know what? This is RetroArch, so let's see if I can just hot swap a controller because I've got an Xbox Series X controller here. If I connect it, hopefully it will just connect and... No, what's it done here? Has it paused it? Okay, let's try and relaunch this. Okay, something, it doesn't like something about RetroArch there. Okay, let's try and run it again. Hopefully this controller, the D-pad, because RetroArch is really good. The reason I like using it, you don't need to set up a lot of things. They just work straight out. Okay, here we go. It's working now. I was using, you know, the 8-bit Do Mega Drive controller.
Yeah.
I was using that because I thought if I play Street Fighter or something, I can kind of do all right on that. Right, be suspicious. That rock is suspicious. Damn right, it's a ninja. But I really like this game. And do you know what? I used to play Pocky and Rocky on the SNES, and that didn't have this feature. One button is to fire straight up, and the other button you can fire in obviously one of 8 directions. But this was one of my favorite games on the Master System.
Yeah. The joke is I've never actually seen this before.
Do you know what? This was the cheapest game. This was, see, on the cards when all the games were like £20 or whatever. This game was like £10 brand new, and
Oh.
secondhand you could get it for like £5, £6. So it was a cheap option. But someone lent this to me, and they lent it to me for a long time. I kind of remember this as being my game, and they might have taken it off me like years and years later. But I really like this game, and I like games of this style. Like, so it is just a shmup really, but it's a shmup where you're a ninja and you're kind of walking around rather than like a spaceship, because you're not on rails. You can stop and it won't just auto scroll.
Yeah.
But cool. Any other games you want to talk about? I can bring them up on screen as well.
I know this might get a lot of hate, but I'm going to talk about Altered Beast because I don't care.
Let's just do that, man. Let's bring Altered
Yeah,
Beast. Like, I liked Altered Beast, but man, the controls were so sluggish. I couldn't deal with it. I'm not that great at games anyway. But Altered Beast, I was particularly bad at because, like for example, when you get the wolf that gives you the power up, man, I
Yeah.
could not hunt that thing down. That thing was just, I was getting frustrated. But you know what? One thing I did like about that game, once you got a few powers, yeah, man, you were powerful. Like you
Yeah,
were
I mean,
powerful in that game.
yeah. It for me, it was one of the games that solidified Sega because I used to play it in the arcade, and at that time, you have to remember, a lot of games didn't even have speech, let
Okay, what's
alone
happened?
recognizable synthesized speech, like
Mm.
"Rise from Your Grave," "Power Up." Um, oh, what did he used to say? "Welcome to your doom" as well. This before he fought the
You
boss.
know what? Like, so back then, I remember, like, what was it? Speech being a big thing. Any game that had speech was just like, whenever you heard
Yeah.
speech, you're like, whoa, it's got speech.
Exactly. Yes,
It
it
was,
was a massive thing, and this game this used to boom the sound, and that's the first thing I heard. "Rise from your grave," and it was just like, and
and look
that's
at if you see
everyone
it on your
remembers the
screen now, the
tune.
guys are the guys are beefy, man, and that eyeball just
Buff
looks
guys,
wicked.
yeah. Because I mean, knowing you're a kid, you just used to associate things. So I honestly, I didn't know about Greek mythology, which is what this is with Zeus and
Yeah,
rescuing his
yeah,
daughter.
I only remember it from a movie called Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah, see, I didn't know
That's
all Beast was even about that. I just thought it was Arnold Schwarzenegger could turn into this beast. I thought the buff guys were Arnold Schwarzenegger.
okay.
So, because you just didn't read stuff, I just thought, wow, these guys are huge. They're big like Arnold Schwarzenegger. This must be Arnold Schwarzenegger in this game. And then, obviously, as a year went on, and people were talking about this game, then when I saw it I think it was in the window of Dixon's on the Mega Drive. At the time, I thought it was arcade perfect. I was like, and you didn't see arcade ports looking this good before Mega Drive came along. It just wasn't a thing.
Mm,
And especially if you came from like the Amigas, Amstrads, Spectrums, Commodore 64s. Closest thing I saw was like Master System games, really,
okay.
for movement as well as looks. So I was just like, when I saw All Beast on the Mega Drive, I knew I had to have it. I begged my mum. I absolutely begged her. Then we got a second controller.
Oh,
And that was another
wicked.
thing.
Do you remember there was a lot of begging to mums, man? Like there was a
Oh
lot
my
of begging to
God.
mums. Like I
The
begged my mum
mums were
for a
like
lot
people's
of stuff.
gods.
Oh,
You was like
I
almost
just
praying to the
begged,
gods of your mum.
begged a lot to my mum. I
Yeah.
done, but that's why you know what we always got to be good to our parents now because they gave us games, man, when we didn't have the dosh for the games. So who knows,
Yes.
what hardship they were going through, but they were like, okay, the kid wants this. Just one thing, I've got to go at 7:45 because the boss of the house, which is my wife, I've got to put the boys to bed because they got school tomorrow and everything. So she let me do this stream. She agreed to stay out the room, but I might get bombarded. So 7:45 is cut off time. But in the meantime, Unicron,
You got hard
just
out.
go ahead. I gotta go, man, because you know what? Everything's set up in the bedroom. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I've got to just sort that out for them.
Yeah, okay. I'll just quickly say, yeah.
No, cool. We got 7 minutes, bruv. Like, let's use it. Altered
Okay,
Beast.
yeah. Yeah, so All Beast, it was that game, and also at that time as well, even if you got home conversions, whether it be the 8-bit microcomputers or whatever, you generally would lose on 2-player, wouldn't you, at that time?
Mm.
And All Beast gave you speech. It actually had scrolling, parallax scrolling, which the arcade version didn't have. It
Okay.
had that on the Mega Drive, and it gave you 2-player. 2-player was not cut out.
Yeah,
And I was just like,
yeah, there was a lot of stuff lacked 2-player, like especially in the
Yeah.
8-bit era.
yeah. What even on the Mega Drive didn't have 2-player.
Mm.
It just lots of games just didn't give you 2-player. So All Beast was that game, even though people like to mock it. But I'm thinking to myself,
I
for
would
the
never
time,
mock it. I just find it difficult, man. I find the controls very sluggish. And also,
Yeah.
like, in regard to Mega Drive, see, I was a Nintendo guy more than a Sega guy. But as I got
Yeah.
older, I realized a lot of the Sega games were actually closer to the arcade. So I actually got more appreciation in my 30s and 40s for the Mega Drive than I did when it was actually current. I was like on Team Nintendo at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a special thing. It was the first game I actually had on the Mega Drive because
It came
was a
with
huge
it, didn't
fan of
it? It was a bundle. I remember there was a
Yeah.
Ultra Beast bundle.
yeah, I think the Mega Drive came out. I got the Mega Drive like a week after it came out because I was going to get something else. I think I was on my way to get a Master System because we used to get the news so late in the UK. It was like
We
Mean
did,
Machine,
yeah.
CVG. I think Mean Machine was at the back of
Me-
CVG. It wasn't even its
It
own
was they
magazine
had
at the time.
yeah, Mean Machines was always the kind of more fun, the better magazine, I thought. I like Mean Machines a lot. Funnily enough, I actually spoke to Julian Rignall I found him on Twitter. It was all like called
Yeah.
Jazz, and it had like like his character, like the avatar.
Yeah, I've seen
from
him on
there.
Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, are you Julian Rignall? And like he replied back, he was like, yeah, man, like keep an eye, I post stuff from that thing. So it was a proper blast from the past because those guys were big. But
Yes.
another magazine that I used to like, and I may only ever bought one copy, but the WH Smith used to have it, and you probably were like me, and you used to read magazines in there. But they had one called EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly, and that
Yeah.
was good
Yeah.
because you used to find out about like PC Engine games in there, like TurboGrafx 16 games, or games that wouldn't make it like to the UK magazines.
Yeah. Did you ever read? Because EGM was good, but I found Game Fan was better.
I
They
don't
had
ever
more
remember seeing that
input.
one, unless it was in WH
Ah.
Smith, and I was reading it
Yeah.
for
No.
free.
It was always not. Sometimes I bought it, but sometimes I would use it like a library. So I'd open up the plastic and I'd read it from front to back because it was expensive because
It
of
was, but
the
that
front
was a
cover,
day
the
out. You used to
paper and
go with your
stuff.
mates, go to WH Smith is the only one where they never ever bugged you for staying in
Yeah,
there
they
all
won't
day.
throw you out.
The
Yeah,
news
I'd
agents,
read all
they
the
used to chuck
magazines.
me out, especially like the loot. I wanted to buy
Yeah,
something. I used to quickly go in there, write the number down, and run out.
yeah. The news agents wouldn't. I couldn't do nothing. They were like, "Are you going to
Yeah,
buy?" The literally was a sentence. Are you going to
yeah,
buy? And I'd be like, "That doesn't make sense." But no, I'm not. Then they'd be like, well, "Then please leave." I'm like, "Fine." Then I have to go on a bus or do a big walk to WH Smith. But I just used to use them like a library.
yeah. Well,
And then
that's how you done things back then,
sometimes,
man.
you'd get those. They would put like a cheat book in with the magazine as well. I used
Oh, it
to
was so good. That
borrow
thing was
those on a
like
permanent
you
basis.
used to take those out. Yeah, I remember. Do you know what? The cover things were missing a few times. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not admitting to anything here, but I may or may
yeah.
not have taken Amiga demo discs.
That's what I'm saying. It was just like you. Sometimes things would go missing around me. I'm not saying I was a
Yep,
klepto, but
exactly.
sometimes things would just
But
magazines might just be open, and you'd be like, "Oh,
do you remember the
look at
cheat
this
books
dropped
though? When
out.
you had that, you were like, oh shit, I can do this, I can do that. Like
Oh,
because you
those
didn't
were
have the internet. You just that
thinking they
was
were
your knowledge.
godsends.
They were
It was just like
good. They were
it was
good,
like a
man.
little soft paperback book,
Yeah, cheap
and it would
ones.
have every cheat of everything that come out up until that point. And you would just and some games you get stuck on you put it down for years or
Bro,
whatever,
do you remember
and you just find a cheat
when
for
Mean
it.
Machines, was it Mean Machines that done the Street Fighter combo video on a VHS? You got a VHS with the combos in there.
Yeah,
I still remember
I think
Guile's combos from there.
it was the Nintendo version because they split, didn't they? Mean Machine split because Nintendo got big and so did Sega. It was the
Ah,
same
okay,
people doing
okay.
both. It was, don't get me wrong, it's the same people behind them,
Mm.
but it was the Nintendo magazine gave you the VHS tape,
Ah,
and that's
okay,
when
okay. I remember I had it. I just don't remember. I remember watching it again and again. It was like you didn't
yeah,
have
a port.
Twitch, you
I
didn't
mean,
have YouTube. It was
I battered that thing. You know when you have to use tracking on your video because
it was
it was so bad.
you needed a head cleaner.
Yeah, it was. I crushed that thing because I kept on rewatching. You know, at one point he was Zangief and Blanca was doing electricity, and he just stood there and he spun him out electricity,
Wicked.
and my mind was like, "What?"
Wow.
Couldn't believe it, and I kept on rewinding. Yeah, that video got destroyed, and when he did, I think he technically it wasn't actually a good girl combo because you could jump out of it, but he
Mm.
did it too late. But I think he did like flying punch, crouching punch
He
into
done
sonic
crouching.
boom and
I think he
back
done
fist.
like
Yeah.
jumping fierce, maybe 2 crouching jabs into a sonic boom, and I was like, whoa,
What? Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
and
can
I
do
think he did
this?
a back fist. Yeah, and he
Oh, bruv,
like
yeah.
a redizzy. He was just like, oh, your mind was blown. Like, oh my god, did
Wow.
you see that? And then my brother was like, rewind it, rewind it.
Be kind, rewind. But you know what, Unicron, gonna have to end it here. You know what, it's been a lot of fun, and what I'm gonna do is, it's difficult for me with my schedule, so I'm gonna try and find some time. I've definitely got. I'm gonna have to take the wife out for a meal first, so she stays out of the way, and then I'm gonna do like a nice long one where obviously you make sure you call back in. I'll make sure you're available as well. I'll reach out
Yeah,
to
yeah,
you,
it'd be no problem.
yeah, so we'll do something. But dude, thank you so much for jumping in.
No problem.
For everyone at home, if you're watching, if you're enjoying this stuff, then subscribe and like. That's how you can help the channel. And yeah, guys, thank you very much. Thank you, Unicron. And this is Unicron and Pixel Cherry Ninja out.